welcome back to Glenleathann. I think that's how you say it. So it is the afternoon of November 2, so following on from where we were when we moved over to the farm. The rain has passed through, thankfully, and because it has, and there is a dry-ish window for the second half of this day, which is really like 5 days, I guess, because 3 days in a month, so each day is about 10 days, so the afternoon is about 5 days. So no idea where I was going with that. Anyway, we are going to mow one of the grass fields. We're only going to get one done before it gets way too dark to be working, but we can at least make some silage bales. So that's the plan for today, to make some silage bales. We're going to get this mown. We're going to ted it out because it's been rained on, so we'll ted it, windrow it, and bale it. That's the plan. So some things from what I said last time about how I was going to play this has seemed quite popular, so I am going to try and play this as if weather matters, which it generally doesn't in FS22, apart from the impact when you're harvesting. Everything else you can ignore, but I'm not going to do that. So for example, we didn't plow the field that had potatoes in it before we moved in, and that needs ploughing, and ideally it would have needed replanting this month. Unless we get a dry window tomorrow, it's not going to happen, and that means it won't happen until spring. Through winter, if the ground's frozen, we won't be able to work it. So if it's minus whatever, we're going to have to go by air temperature, because we don't have soil temperature, but we'll go by air temperature. Or if there's snow on the ground, we won't be ploughing, for example. The other really good suggestion that I liked, Artec, is basically everything that we mow we are going to have to ted, and that includes the patrons. So probably going to need to add in Loki's tip anywhere, because that lets us ted anywhere as well. And because we're running Maize Plus on silage contracts, we can do what I'm going to do here, and we can ted to semi-dry, and that does have the benefit you get more in the bale as well, so that's going to be fun. I obviously can't account for things like, so there's no soil temperature, so we don't have that gamble that you had in FS19 with seasons of, do you plant before the soil temperature comes up, hoping that it will reach germination temperature in time for everything to grow. We can't do that, but yeah, we're not just going to ignore weather. So that's where I'm getting to with this kind of ramble. Weather forecast for tomorrow in game is, weather's going to be such a big factor for this new I think I'm going to call this a new season of farming the generations. So we'll call this episode 1 of season 2, I think. Probably. So it's what I've labelled the folder that they're saved in. Doesn't mean that'll be what the video title ends up as, so who knows. Yeah, the weather forecast looks okay for tomorrow. I think there is some snow forecast, so we might get to work in the other field. I don't think I'm going to worry about mowing the other pasture. If we can get this field worked and planted, that's probably more beneficial than getting the other pasture mown. I think definitely going to be much more of a trade on what jobs can we and can't we do. So, and that might also mean that more of the DS Agri guys doing work on this farm rather than off contracting. You know, if we've got lots we need to get done in a day, I might have them all working on this. I mean, I kind of do that in this with Courseplay because I haven't got this set up to work on multiplayer yet. So, you know, the stuff that I'm doing with Courseplay and Follow Me on here might be real people in the future. And one annoying thing, because heading on Courseplay, it's gonna not do the extreme edges that I've done mowing, but we'll bale it anyway. So some bales will be slightly higher moisture content than others. Let's go with that. obviously this whole video is going to be kind of in this kind of evening twilight into the dark. If that bugs you, don't, sorry, you know, it's just how this is how this has had to work out. The lighting, actually, I think it's standard lighting on here, but it looks really nice. So one of the things that has been done, it was done by me, and I think have left it in, is I moved the, it's latitude, ignore me, I don't think that will have changed things significantly. No, that's right. Yeah, I moved us up to Scotland, so that will affect sunrise and sunset times, and I think it might affect the height of the sun as well. So I think that's why we're getting this kind of nice low light into the evening. So yeah. One plus is the 8410 has very bright headlights, so I am making full use of the fact that the DS Agri kit is part of the farm now. So while they're not off working, we can make use of all of it. So we've got the butterfly mowers, the extra tractors, and yeah, it's going to make life much easier. And we're nearly done with the mowing. It really didn't take that long, which is a good thing because the light is fading. I did end up slowing the time down a little bit so that we're not completely into the pitch black, because I did want you to actually able to see what I was doing. So it's Friday lunchtime-ish. Been a very busy week, quite a stressful week, and going into the weekend, and I'm planning to try and not do too much at all. This video should be out on Sunday, I think. There might not be a Monday video, there might not be a Tuesday morning video, so there wasn't a Timberborn video on Friday. There might not be one on Tuesday. Some of you probably don't care about that, but I might get one recorded on Monday. I don't know. I don't know what my work schedule is. It's really bad. It's Friday. Don't know what I'm doing at the start of the week work-wise going into the office. So if I'm in the office at the start of the week, there won't be videos. I'm also in the office on Thursday next week, which means there might not be a stream again. Bad timing, I guess. You know, I've had a couple of busy Thursdays with work, so that I can't control, unfortunately. Yeah. I probably, I'm just trying to think how long it's been since I released them. I probably need to start thinking about an update to the improvised animal sheds. I've got some more buildings I would like to include. I'm wondering whether I should expand it to horses or chickens. So really hit the comment section with, would you like me to add horses in? We could do horse manure in the stable. Yeah, tempting. I'm not so fussed on chickens, if I'm honest. I don't think they would work particularly well. They might. We could put the fence across. But yeah, and so one of the requests I had was and there was a lot of comments about the capacity of them, because I've based the animal capacity of, you know, they're small sheds. You don't put 1,000 cows in a small shed. Everyone plays like I play. So would you like versions that hold more animals? I'm not going to put 1,000 because that'd be ridiculous. And but yeah, would you like larger capacity versions? I am going to try and make some larger ones using some of the larger buildings I have access to now. But yeah, I was kind of curious. Something that I do probably want to work on. Long day yesterday. Sorry about that. To make a note of the time of that, just in case the yawn was annoyingly loud. Yeah, the other thing is I have another new mod that I'm working on. Yeah, I'm going to be a bit cryptic about it. I think I might have mentioned it in a Patreon video. I'm not sure if I did, because it's kind of cool. So I'm going to be a little bit cryptic. I probably could finish it quite quickly. I just need to get some motivation again. Yeah, need to get that sorted. Map-wise, I believe this map has been through first round testing with Giants and is now back with Giants, I think. Cav has sent me a few versions in the last few days, and I noticed that he'd done an update on Kingmods yesterday or today, which included comments about testing. So I'm only taking it from that. I haven't spoken to him in the last few days, so that's cool, because that means hopefully soon it will be available for you guys. Saxthorpe has been through first round testing as well and did surprisingly well. It did not pass, but it's not awful. And I think Thompson Briscoe is well on his way to dealing with all of those issues, so that is also cool. Yeah, hopefully those two maps, or both of the maps that I'm playing at the moment, will be available soon for everyone. Obviously, this map you can get from Kingmods. Cav released it on Kingmods so that people could do beta testing for him. So if you want to play it, go grab it. One thing I've been playing with as well, I discovered it by accident because I just did. So I should say it now. Courseplay is finishing the tedding. I'm running the windrower and I've got the baler on follow me. I did show you setting it up. I've not really mentioned it. One thing you do have to do certainly with this baler and some other baler rack combos, you have to run quite slowly. So I end up running at 5 or 6 miles an hour to not pull away from the baler too far, and then follow me loses you. So now I've lost my train of thought. Oh jeez. Yep, completely gone. Oh well, it'll come back to me. Yeah. So it's been a very long week. Yesterday was a 12-hour day, I think, with something like 4 hours of driving. Some of you that might not be a problem for, but I find doing a full, so it was a bit of work, a 7-hour meeting, 4-hour drive home. I was pretty wrecked, if I'm honest, and that's what I was going to talk about. So yeah, pretty tired today, and that's probably why my brain is a bit muddled. I've been playing with the NVIDIA photo mode. So I sometimes use NVIDIA filters to take my screenshots for thumbnails. I've been playing with NVIDIA photo mode, and it's quite fun. You can do super resolution. You can apply the filters that I apply for doing thumbnails sometimes, but you can apply them. You can take 4 times resolution pictures. The picture that I posted on the community page from recording this video was done at 2 times, so I think that was a 4K resolution picture-ish, taken on my not 4K resolution laptop. And I did do one that was even higher res on Saxthorpe. Laptop crashed first time. Probably better to do this on the desktop. But anyway, it's quite good fun. Quite good fun. So yeah, I guess if you saw that picture and thought the map's always going to look like that, it won't. I had applied some filtering to that picture. Yeah, it's mostly playing with the lighter bit, which I guess is the bit that people get interested in. Thankfully, this tractor also has quite nice lights. I am working on a way, so this is my 7810. There are 3 on the farm. This one is mine. Name the movie quote. Apart from the 3 on the farm bit. But anyway, I am working on a way that certain people who like joining the multiplayer don't end up in my tractor. Mine. I used to manage that by the fact that the dairy farm that we had on Maypole was separate to the multiplayer farm. That's not the case here. But I have a cunning plan. So one of the things that I need to do now is we have a bunch of bales on the headland which are going to get in the way, so I'm going to go grab the Merlot, a nice Merlot of an evening, winter's evening, and I'm going to shift some of the bales out of the way. I'm not going to clear the field, and I'm not actually going to move them off there. I'm just going to push them move them further back into the hedgerow so that we've got the headland to turn on. And again, thankfully, the Merlot has good lights. And the bales seemed better behaved than the last time I used it, so maybe I was being more patient. I wasn't rushing particularly, and yeah. So you will see, not this set, maybe the next set or the one after, difference in capacity. So with Maize Plus, you can wrap for silage fresh or wet grass, conditioned grass, or semi-dry grass. So you can wrap all three to make grass silage. Is there a difference? There is. So there are two differences. One is the volume of dry matter you get in the bale, so the litres of silage you end up with. So for semi-dry, you get 5,000. For conditioned, I think it's 3.5 for these 125 centimetre bales. The other big difference is the weight of the bale. So on Attingham, game lag there. The laptop was unhappy, it seems. On Attingham, I did not condition or TED, so I did large square bales of fresh or wet grass, and my telehandler could not pick up more than about 2 of them. So I ended up with that if you watch that series, that's when I ended up, I think for that I leased one of the bigger telehandlers, and that's the reason I ended up buying the JCB 4220 with the front loader on and a 3-ton weight on the back, because it was really good at moving those heavy bales around. Once they ferment to silage, they all become the same density but not mass, because they've got different amounts in them. Ignore that bit. But yeah, so with Maize Plus, you can TED the 3 stages of grass before hay, and the difference is the litres of silage you end up with, and the grass that goes into them, and the mass whilst they are fermenting. So I would definitely recommend, say they can see that that's conditioned, or that's conditioned grass, and it's got 3,500 litres. So I would recommend it. Yes, you have to do another step, you have to TED, but you get a lot less bales to handle, which is nice, you know, particularly when you're manually bale handling. So I think I was saying about how with trying to replicate more of Seasons and Cartec's suggestion to have to TED all grass, the benefit for doing, if you're doing silage contracts and TEDing the grass, so that's a Maize Plus thing. TEDing grass to wrap for silage is a Maize Plus thing. Doing it for contracts, you're going to need Loki's Tip Anywhere and enable TEDing in the menu for that. And the benefit of that is less bales to handle. And on here still, it's manual bale handling. I think it will be the 2000s where we add in bale stackers. Yes, I know Heston bale chasers were a thing in the 90s, but moving 10 Heston bales is not going to solve clearing a field of 50 silage bales quicker. I don't think so. But having 30% less bales is going to make a difference. So that's why it's worth doing it with Maize Plus. When you're, either way, less bales is less lag as well, potentially. Yeah. I was having, the yawning is real. I was having a moment when I was doing this. When was I recording this? I don't remember. It was only last night. God. I was having a moment when I was, not last night, it was the night before. I was having a moment when I was recording it. I had selected the bale fork, and because the bale fork has functions, I couldn't boom out until I reselected the vehicle. I was very confused. I'm easily confused when I'm tired, as some of you may have learned. So that's that headland cleared. I'm not going to do any of the bales on the long runs. We'll sort those through the winter. Obviously, maybe not obviously, ideally we would be getting some slurry or some manure on the fields through the winter to get the nitrogen up. We will need to get lime on them. That's all going to be dependent on getting good enough weather. I am pondering increasing to 4-day months maybe. So when I implemented this weather in the map, I did say to Cav that you need to recommend to people that they play with probably at least 3-day months to end up with decent weather windows for getting jobs done, and I'm already seeing that. So I'm thinking that I might go to 4-day months. I think 5 might be a bit extreme. I might go to 4-day months, and that would let me keep the time moving faster as well. What do you think? I am curious. I know I'm not just doing that so you have to comment, but you do, so comment. Anyway, that's the bales cleared. The views in the evening are quite stunning on here. Although I did get confused with the silo. I don't know if I had it recording. I could see the top of the silo in the dark glowing, and I was like, what the heck is that? It's the top of the silo. Anyway. Yeah, it's been a weird week with getting back to traveling with work after a few weeks of not doing that. Being back in the office was quite strange. Being away was quite strange. We're going through a bit of a weird moment at home, actually, I guess, because so the teenager has finished college and she's just been on holiday with one of her friends. She's off to house sit for her grandparents for a week next, and then she's going away with one of her grandparents for a week. I think it's for a week. So we're having a lot of time where it's just Mrs. D and I in the house, or like the other day, it was just her in the house. It's kind of weird. Yeah. And so for context, because some of you may not know this, but you might be new. If you are, click subscribe. But Mrs. D and I met when our daughter was already 4 years old. So you can do the maths, not math. So we've always had a child around whilst we've been a couple. So it's kind of weird, the idea that there won't be one around. Yeah. Anywho, it is getting quite a bit darker. I have slowed the time down even more because it is getting dark pretty quickly. And I think that is a function of being at a higher latitude. I should know my Latin long, but and therefore the sun setting sooner than most maps use the default value, and if they're based off of the European map, that is further south than even most of the UK. So yeah, moving north and then being in the winter, it's going to get dark earlier and light later, and being Scotland, it's going to rain eternally. So yep. So there's no updates from Maypole in this one because it's the same game day as where we finished. When we cross December, there'll be some cash coming in from Maypole from selling milk. I'm still not sure how much more work there will be on the farm before spring on here. We'll see what the weather forecast is like in the morning when I wake up in game, and if there's going to be field work we can do in November. If not, I think that's the end of the field work window, unless we get some warmish days to do some of the ploughing that we need to do, that kind of thing. We need to clear these bales because this pasture needs to be ploughed in because it's going to have crops planted. I need to work out what crops I'm going to plant, which means I need to work out how I'm going to go forwards feeding the cows. So if you've got suggestions on that, chuck them below again. Summertime they will graze, but we probably won't get enough grazing off that little pasture to keep them all fed. So we'll be doing some TMR. So what sort of things should I be putting in the TMR this time? We've got an opportunity to start fresh with the crops that we grow, and therefore the things that we put in there. Obviously grass silage is going to be a big part of that. But do we do any maize silage? Do we do whole crop silage rather than maize? Do I grow any root crops? Do we do sugar beets again? Do we do potatoes? Do we buy carrots in? Yeah, all that kind of stuff. If you know Maize Plus and what we can feed, then just chuck some suggestions in. I'm not going to say I'm going to take them all. I might not take any, but I might take some. At this point, I'm going to say thank you to the patrons and the YouTube channel members. I need my post-it note again to make a note of more times. So, yeah, really appreciate you guys supporting the channel. You are pretty darn awesome. So, if you're interested in any of those, there are links below. So YouTube, you can just use the join button. Descriptions of the perks are below. YouTube membership doesn't get you particularly much apart from the custom role on the Discord and access to the members channel on their Patreon. As long as you go for above the lowest tier, you get the exclusive Let's Play series on from there, which is just a new series starting on Bowling Spring. And I tend to ask more creative questions to the guys on Patreon about how I'm going to do things in the future. And you get to join multiplayer on here when I restart it, which will be soon. Life's just been a little bit too busy to get things like that sorted out. All totally optional. Obviously, you can just watch the videos, and if you just click the like button, that really helps out. And maybe leave a comment that lets YouTube know you enjoyed the video, and it will serve you more of my content. So if you didn't enjoy the video, then leave me a comment saying you didn't enjoy it as well, and I'll show you the next one. Yeah, I'm really rambling at this point, and desperately waiting to finish this field. So we are pretty much done. I don't think I looked to see how many bales I made, but we will be able to look because it's not multiplayer yet. And I think I have DLCs enabled, which I need to chat to the patrons about to see which DLCs we can or can't have active and which ones we shouldn't have active, I guess. But yeah, that is us done. So thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, click the like button. Comments, answers to all those questions or suggestions below, and I will see you next time.